pressure of this unique opening.
The pressure of starting it is getting to us. No, Jijush. Can you say Jijush?
No, I'm not even going to try. Jijush.
So Jijush, yeah, Jijush. Jijush is the Polish word for like a little cute little tiny baby. All right, little Jijush. So it's a little baby, right? So the other day, the two young lads are playing together on the floor, and Murphy number 2 says to Murphy, I can't do it that way. I don't want to say their names though, because Rumpelstiltskin them. Which we're going to be doing later anyway. Yeah. So the daughter says to the brother, and she's younger, and she says to him, "Oh, I have a dead brother." He says, what? I have a dead brother. And Aga hears this, and she's like, "Okay, that's pretty strange." And so Mickey's like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, I have a dead older brother." Okay, that's grand. So later on, then Aga brings her into the kitchen. And she's like wanting to find out more. She's like, okay, so what's this all about? And she's like, yeah, little Jesus, little baby brother. Okay, was he older or younger? He was older. And was it? She's like, well, when was he born? Was it like warm or cold? Oh, warm, like summer. Yeah, summer. And then she ran away.
Okay,
and then before she was born, Agate had a miscarriage that would have been due in the summer.
Ooh. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fucking mad, huh? So Agate was a bit freaked out by it there for a while.
My wee fella
that's weird.
Has the other day started talking about Oisín. Who's Oisín? Oh, he's my friend. Yeah. Can anyone else see him? No. Can you describe him? No. I said, well, what colour hair is he? Oh, he's no hair. Well, what colour eyes is he? No eyes. He's no ears. Has he a nose? No. Has he a mouth? Yes. And what about his hair? He's trying to grow his hair, his eyes, his nose, and his mouth. Or his ears. Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. And so that's the beginning of that. So I would get used to Oisín, I assume. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to him.
This lump of a thing that just has a mouth.
Trying to grow its hair.
Oisín isn't a name that he would know. You know, I mean, there's a guy who lives close to us is Oisín, but he doesn't even pronounce it. He pronounces it Oisín, which is, you know, so it's
Oisín. What is like the way an American would say it or something?
That's how it is.
Okay.
It's, I suppose it's the Kieran and the Kieran thing. Kieran is how we pronounce it, but it's Kieran.
What's the Wexford one for? You know, Catherine. Yeah, people say Catherine. In Wexford, it's Catherine. What would we say? Yeah. Or Craig and Craig. I don't get that. It's Craig. Yeah, but Craig is a fucking rock. It's not a Chris. That's not your name. No, but your name's Craig.
Craig, yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Like, it's Greg or Craig. I don't know. Like, but I mean, we have a friend called Craig who calls himself Craig. So I mean, who might you give out about it? Why
is the plural of mice, but house isn't heis? Why?
English is weird. It's not a good language. It's a made up language. Yeah, it's like there's that great. I won't remember it offhand, but if I can find it, there's a great poem that's done about it where it gives all the different kind of weirdness that only an English speaker would be able to read the poem, because it's like all the same words that are the same that you can only understand when in context.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to do with just how much it's. Well, yeah, obviously language has changed, but like if you do pick up like a really old book, and you can decipher the kind of old words, then you can see, that's why that is spelled that way. Because years and years ago, it had a very different spelling because people spoke differently, you know?
Yeah, that you know, ye old and oldie, that why is it's like the E's aren't pronounced. It's not. It's like it's only us now that would call it ye old. Back in the day, they'd say the old shop. You know? The old shop. Yeah, not ye oldie shoppy. Ye oldie shoppy. But they reckon that Shakespeare wouldn't recognise his works now that they've changed so much, that just over the even, what is it, 400 years since Shakespeare? Something about that anyway. That it's because of all the errors each time it's been reprinted or, you know, copied out, whatever, that it's essentially not the same thing. But I thought he'd been to Venice. He so many of his plays are about Venice. He'd never been there. He probably never left England, did he not? Probably not. It's mad. Isn't that mad? Yeah.
But just like he probably could have. Like, I mean, he was successful in his lifetime. He was rich and famous and stuff. I'm sure that he could have gone if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean, if he wrote them, I mean, there's always that,
No, I don't. Nah, I don't go in for that. Now, I love a good conspiracy theory and a nice tale and a myth, but there's too much. There's not enough conclusive stuff to say. No, he didn't do it.
Also, doesn't matter. It's not like if May wrote, what does it change? It's still Shakespeare. Like, true, it's like. But he also wasn't in Denmark. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for any of the Hamlet stuff, or probably wouldn't even go to Scotland. Probably never made it even that far north. Who knows?
Yeah, he was probably one of those. Yeah, those little Englanders. That's what he was. He voted for Brexit. Did you know that? Shakespeare. He hates Scotland. Fucking hates Scotland.
Nigel Shakespeare.
God.
Oh, yeah. The Bard Party.
There's what's been going on with you, Tommy, magically?
What's been going on magically? Burnout. Not really, but it's just the whole hype, all the work and everything, getting the decks out and a couple of other things I was working on. It's kind of, I still have to get the the Grimoire finished, but I'm like 95% done. I have one final section I want to write, and I've it written. The first time you write it, it's terrible because you're just dumping your ideas. So I now have to actually write it, but I have the dump bit done. And that's it. Robbie has a few bits. Robbie from Chariots Wheels on just the different alternative introduction rituals you can do that he did from his website, and use some perfumes, correspondence and stuff. So he's getting me them today. And so that should be it. Then it'll be handed out to a couple of people to make sure there isn't some really weird in the middle of it. And the fixer is giant penis or some sort of weird type.
You have to spoon out your left eyeball.
Yeah.
You have to.
The price you have to pay to the fixer is $50 million to Tommy Kelly. PayPal. You will get everything you want. God, I mean, nice. I definitely, I could have made so much money out of that in hindsight. If only I was a deplorable person, which I'm not.
If only you were greedy and deplorable. Yeah. Do you ever think? Because I presume, like, I was looking at that Rider Waite deck of mine is there gathering dust in the thing.
Pamela Coleman Smith deck.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave it somewhere. So I used to do that with books. When I finished books, when I was commuting in Dublin, if I finished the book, I'd just leave it on the bus, in the hope that someone else would just pick it up because it's a good book or whatever, So I might do that with Tarot Deck, just leave it somewhere, because I'm not going to use it. I don't like it.
If any listeners want this, because there's nothing worse than listening to a podcast or something, and this actually happened to you with a Kingsley book. Where someone goes, I just left in one of the libraries, those free libraries inside the road, some Reality, I think it was. And you go, you could have sent it to me. I actually want it. So does anyone want to Rider Waite Coleman Smith, Pamela, whatever it's called?
If anyone wants it, let me know.
PayPal me €50 million postage, and it's yours.
No, I was wondering, right? Because I presume that deck is long out of copyright and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I assume so, given that there's 50 million iterations of it on Amazon.
Yeah. So, do you ever think of what's going to happen to yours, your 40 servants? What is it? 100 years after you die, or 50 years after you die? What way does it work?
It's different in America than it is in Europe.
And so, where will you be covered with that?
Europe.
You'll be in Ireland. Yeah.
I assume. I don't know. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's. I'm going to be dead. So,
I know you're going to be dead. No, I know you're going to. No, look, because you can see, because you found recently a couple of decks that were copying you,
Yeah. I know, but I'm fine enough with that. It's.
Oh no, I know that. I'm not. Yeah.
I don't know. There's part of it, as I said on the Discord, there's two wolves inside me. One is extremely flattered by other that, and another one's kind of, really. But the really bit is more the whole kind of thing of doing any of the stuff like the 40 servants, or writing your book or doing a comic or your music, is to do your own thing. That's the thing that is the exciting part of it. That's the bit you're not. It's like that kind of notion that when you're in a band and you want to do original bands, but you sound exactly like Oasis because they're your favourite band, and you go, well, Oasis. Well, Oasis is a terrible example because Oasis sounds like all the bands that they wanted to be in. So it's like the Beatles mixed with the Stones, with the what do you call
T-Rex,
it? Stone Roses, whatever it is. Yeah. Well, like, let's take a different band. Like, say Metallica, who wanted to completely do their own thing or whatever and forge their own path, and then you have a million bands wanting to be Metallica. It's flattering from Metallica, but it's a bit, do your own thing. There's already a Steve Vai. There's already a 47s. That would be the kind of part of me that's going, like, but it's more just, but I'm not annoyed personally by it. It's just like, come on, creatively, we can probably do something. There's probably something better. Like, I guarantee you there's something better than the 47s that someone will come up with. So, like, do that. Rather than... But at the same time, it's extremely flattering that to see that there's a number of decks that, on the other side of the world, that have obviously been influenced by something I did. It's weird. It's extremely weird, but it's,
Yeah, it must be weird, huh?
Yeah.
Thinking that.
But especially because I started getting messages from people, very irate people, telling me that I needed to sue him and get my lawyers on him, and it seemed to me like going, have you some sort of a personal vendetta against this man that you're trying to get me to shut him down or something? I don't care. The Brazilian publishers don't care. So, I mean, whatever. But
it'd be funny to see that day in court, like the judge in his wig and his medals and whatever. And yeah. So
what is this? Honor, what's this? What's this shit?
See the sexy Brazilian chick over there, right? So she started making servitors. What? Right, okay.
Because then you're getting into funny business where you kind of go, well, am I claiming I created servitors? Am I saying I created,
exactly, yeah.
Divination cards that are also, it's just, no, none of those things.
Oh, no, it wouldn't. It would never work. Like, no. Sorry. What would work is that, you say, this is my image, that looks the same as that. It would work on that. But like if someone, the challenge then against you would be, look, he can't own servitors. No, and the judge would be like, you're all fucking bonkers. You're all getting sectioned.
It's like, here, your version of the mother archetype is very close to my version of the mother archetype. And it's like, when Coldplay and Joe Satriani had the kind of saying that song was the same, and then Cat Stevens turned up and went, actually, you spoke robbed mine. So it'd be me and someone in Brazil going, oh, my mother, his mother, and Carl Jung would shuffle in and go, actually, lads.
The whole archetype thing has ran away quite a lot from what it was, because I think Carl Jung only had 7 or something, didn't he?
That was 14, I think, at 1.2. There was kind of.
Was it? Maybe it was 14 then.
No, I'm not sure. Don't answer that. Don't answer any pub quizzes with that knowledge. Just in my head, it's 14, but I know it's could be 11, could be 78 for all I know. Really,
quiz has Carl Jung questions.
A good one, a really good one. Yeah. So Lexi, I don't know. Like, I mean, I give the 47s. There's so much free of it you can do now that it's in circulation and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, if I didn't have a son, I literally one night I die, I'd give it away, like the way Dave Sim, that comic Cerebus, when he dies it goes straight into public domain. That's his deal. But I can't say, an equal, like, if I died now, wouldn't it be nice that my wife and kid would have a bit of money to coming in from Gamecraft and all that, but like, so I don't know. But ultimately, like, I think art just needs to be put into the ether or the surroundings. It'd be like, imagine Leonardo da Vinci's paintings or something, or his art was held by.
Imagine if they were in museums and you had to pay to go see them. Well,
but
that'd be bullshit, wouldn't it?
I've seen them all. They're really nice. But like, if you didn't have access to them, or you couldn't study them, or I don't know. But there probably is a trust around Leonardo da Vinci that you probably can't. Like, John Lennon's face is trademarked. What's that about? You know what I mean? That New York one with the glasses and that.
She sued there's a soft drinks company here. Soft drinks company. I sound like an American now. Fizzy drinks.
Minerals.
There's a minerals company up the road there. And they were called John Lemon. And they had his. But it's deadly. Okay, but I mean, you can't get away with that name, in fairness. No. So, okay, you can get sued for that. I understand
certain things, like, if you had Linda McCartney's steak and rib pie or something, like, we go, wow, come on, let's not do that, please. Or Paul McCartney's Dodge coin or something, you're just literally putting a name to something else.
Hey, you know what? If they knew a little bit about crypto, there would definitely be a Beatles coin by now, because those fuckers will get into it. Anyway, I was walking down the street the other day past the what do you call it? Place where you get glasses. I have no idea. I wear glasses all my life.
Opticians.
An opticians. Yeah. Fucking hell. Optometrist. No, isn't that the doctor? What are they called?
There's another name as well Fred. That I never remember. Yeah,
I don't know. So I was walking past
the eye man.
The eye doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not eye doctors though. They're not proper eye doctors. They work in hospitals. Anyway, it's a fucking mafia, man. It's a sham. It's all of it. None of us need glasses.
Opticians. That's what it is.
So I was walking past the optician, right? Yeah. And I noticed there was this nice pair of glasses, and I just looked at. I just stepped up a bit closer, and I went, for fuck's sake. Do you know, there was a Rolling Stones logo on it. I was like, well, is there anything they won't whore themselves on towards? What's the verb there? Maybe. What is the preposition there? I whore myself to. Two, isn't it? Yeah, two is a preposition.
I whore myself on? No. Whore myself? No. With? Together? All together?
With?
With?
I don't know. Is it consensual? I don't know.
I don't know.
So many questions.
If you have to ask, I guess. Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised there's not a beetle coin. I'm really surprised.
It's funny to see that brilliant Twitter exchange about the NTF or NFT, whatever it's called, that stupid digital rights art thing.
The JPEGs.
Yeah, that someone took a screenshot of. How dare you take a screenshot of mine? And then someone sold that as an NTF, NFT, whatever the bloody things. Yeah, because people keep asking me about that every night. You should do it. And I go, no, I really shouldn't. It's a ridiculous idea. It's a terrible idea that you own the rights to a picture that everyone can have.
Everyone can have. Anyway.
Yeah. I know. Bragging rights. Again, 50 million. Send me 50 million to PayPal, and I'll give you bragging rights for anything you want.
It's a prestige thing. I was reading something. I don't know where it was, but he was comparing NFTs to what's the Turkish guy who does the salt thing? What the fuck is his name with the weird glasses?
That thing.
That fucking weird thing.
Yeah.
And
Frank the Turk.
So Frank has these gold leaf steaks or something for 150 quid or something, and they're not that good, but it's a prestige thing to say. I've been there.
I know it is. Yeah.
It's the same. The NFT thing is exactly the same.
He put up a job for a chef given 11 quid an hour or something like that with his gold steaks.
Yeah.
Twitter was an uproar. It's not shocking. Twitter had something to say about that. That was very interesting.
Twitter had an opinion. There's so many times I open a tweet or to write a tweet, and I'm just it's like I don't really have an opinion, and I then say I won't send it because I'll just annoy someone.
No,
that's mine is weird. Twitter is.
I'm not going to send it because I don't want to deal with this ever again. I don't want, I just in my head be, that's shit, and move along. Because I've spent days arguing with people by the end of the day going, I've wasted a day on this thing I didn't even care about. Who cares about, gold steaks or whatever it is?
Imagine you're up at the pearly gates and they play back your life and they're like, day missing. You missed the day there too. You missed the day there too. You missed the day. Yeah. That was the day you were supposed to sleep with Michelle Pfeiffer, but you were.
Yeah.
You fucking ease it, yeah.
You're on Reddit. Oh, someone was wrong on Reddit, wasn't there? Oh, how could you do it? Getting rid of your timeline on Twitter is the best move you can do for Twitter. Just get rid of it. Use lists.
Yeah, I should probably do it. But look, I mean, nobody follows me on Twitter, so it's great. And I follow good people. This thing was meant to come up on the last podcast, but we didn't get to it. I wanted to ask you about this whole Facebook meta thing is fucked up, isn't it?
I'm not paying any attention to it. I've decided that if I ignore it, it'll go away. So I know nothing about it. Yeah. That's my battle plan for the future. Yeah, I worked with the cores. It can work for Facebook. So
I'm just going to ignore the future.
Yeah, it's like I have a vague kind of recollection of or understanding that Data from Star Trek wants to take over the world using some sort of headset. So I mean, I'm up to date with it. I'm down with the kids. I know what's going on.
It's so weird. It's like.
The only thing I learned out of it is that Google's actually called Alphabet. That's the main thing I've learned.
Alphabet, yeah. Yeah, they did that a while ago for money or something, or tax or something.
Well, look, wasn't for the good of people, was it anyway?
No, it surely wasn't.
Google literally took "do not be evil" out of their terms of service. Like they made it. So what's that tell you? They're definitely up to great. They're buying orphanages and giving kids candy and stuff. That's what Google does.
if I think of it, I'll share the article. Put it, if I can find it, and I don't know what device I was reading it on, and it's this really good article about like why these like mega rich tech geeks come to the conclusion that actually that dystopias are a good thing. You know?
Yeah.
This metaverse idea sounds horrific. He's giving his meeting and he's all weird in his proportions in his face and stuff. Zuckerberg, he's just fucking
no, he's so weird.
He's
He's
what
like,
the hell is up with him? Like,
nah, it's something.
Anyway, I know he likes. What's the video? With the meat one. Right, he eat meat. Is that? Damn it, I can't think of it now. It's a really filthy one. Because he keeps talking about when he does the thing with the goat. He kills goats and barbecues them or something. Yeah, he does. There's a video of him with using a taser. He tases a goat and then slits the throat or something.
I don't know.
But anyway, so could just go to the shop. I mean, Jesus, you don't need that hassle, you know.
Yeah. So 1 second, I have to switch off my dehumidifier because it's making a hum.
It's the first word. That's what it's making. It's the first word.
Now, because I just know in editing, I'd be going, why didn't I just shut that thing up and have to spend 20 minutes trying to get the frequency, and I'm just not in the mood for that. So,
but anyway, this metaverse thing, that the thing that I just don't get with it, he's like, you can be in a metaverse with your friends and colleagues and go to work. It's like, I could just go to work.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this second life thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck why do we need this? We need less internet, not more.
Yeah. I want less social media, please. Thanks very much. I don't want to be, imagine but it's escapism. That's all it is. I mean, it's so, because I can't have the body I want in real life, so I can have it in my second life. You know,
but it's like, it's this escapism, but it's like, escape into your normal life.
Yeah.
What? Why? Because it's just that's the weird thing about the internet, is that it's not anything. It's not actually anything different. We're still just living our lives with it. You know what I mean? Whereas these dystopian motherfuckers, they think they're going to change the world with it, and it's not, because we're just going to continue our lives.
No, I think they're going to. The whole thing is they think they're going to live forever. It's not essentially. It's the transhumanism thing. It's the uploading your consciousness to the cloud so that you don't die. It's a form of of fear of death. And it seems to be quite prevalent with an awful lot of them. Like Elon Musk's the same. Let's get, implants into our brain. It's like, did no one see that Johnny Depp film? It doesn't work out for anyone. Come on. But
isn't it already like, okay, let's be all high and mighty in spirituality here, but like, isn't that, it's all already in the cloud anyway. It's
almost like someone looked at the reality and made a false conclusion about it, isn't it? Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that odd? And then acted on that false conclusion.
It is odd. They acted on that. Do a binding. You'll be grand.
You'll be grand. Yeah. What role are you playing there, Zuckerberg? Yeah. Well, the only thing I suppose
he's hard to figure out, isn't he? He's a strange buckle.
I assume he's some sort of I don't know, spectrum type thing. Would have to be that kind of or savant or something. Like, he's too intense and too like, not, he doesn't, I don't know, it feels like he just thinks differently. Like, I don't know if I'm using the correct language here or not, but like he's...
No, I get you. I don't know, an image just popped into my head there. Like, he cut his finger and he just like, my finger is bleeding and I have no feelings.
Yeah, the other thing is he definitely is microdosing. Like, he's definitely high a lot. Like, you can see that. Like, when I was microdosing, that stare that Zuckerberg has, you go, oh look, I recognise that stare. There it is. Yeah. That's the I've taken a wee bit too much today stare. I'll just look at this blood coming out. I've never really looked at blood. What is a finger? They're all at it. They're all microdosing in Silicon Valley. Like, it's the religion that they have over there. It's very real. But it's mad how you just, when you kind of see everything, when you kind of look at the world and you go, well, you have like the Christian religion, you have the Islamic religion, you have the Jewish and the Buddhist and all that kind of thing, and you like, we're not allowed to say it, but you also have the kind of atheist religion, which in all intents and purposes acts like a religion, and we can debate that all day, and I'm not going to.
I wouldn't be arsed debating that all day now. I'm going to be honest.
But it's like, and science is like a religious. And I'm not saying the method of science isn't actually, of course, but that's not how we talk about science. We talk about science as if it's a thing, and it has its priesthood, of course. The scientists. It has the intermediary between you and the truth. Dawkins or Mr. Whatever. Top guy at Oxford, whoever that is, whatever everything is like. It acts so much, and then politics, of course, is religious, and it's like that whole thing of that when you remove religion and divinity from humanity, they seek it and they turn everything else into it. So your the nationalism, of course, is another form of religiosity, and it's that yearning and that need that we have, and when you remove it from your current civilization or your society, it ends up getting very strange. You get QAnon, you get all of this, you get looking for John F. Kennedy and his son, who've been dead since 1989, 1963. And that becomes perfectly acceptable because you're looking for this thing that that is not being satisfied in modern age capitalism and shaky fist at the modern world. But it's like just that'll change. I mean, there's definitely going to be some new religion. It's whether it's a good one or not is the the problem, isn't it?
Your man, I'm reading. Oh Jesus! I'm not reading. I'm listening to. Let me get the name of the author now. Jesus, fat fingers. Immortal.
The Immortality Key.
The Immortality Key. I'm trying to look for your man's name because he's a funny name. Brian C. Morarescu. See, the first half of that name. More or less too. Okay. The first half of that name sounds kind of Irish. Like mine. It's Moraku. Morarescu. But Rescu, what the fuck? And that doesn't even look like a proper spelling because they say there was a Z in there before. So he's half Irish, half Jewish, half Jewish, Russian,
Polish or something. Yeah.
Anyway, the Immortality Key, the secret of the religion with no name. He talks about what you're talking about there. In that people need to replace something with something, they don't even know because you can have generations. We have generations of atheists by now, and and still people look for something. What is there? I don't get it. It's fascinating. That book's really good, but I was telling you that already. It's been out for a while now, isn't it? A couple of years.
Yeah, I think I came across him with Joe Rogan whenever he did. Remember when Joe was all right before he turned weird?
Yeah, before Joe moved to Texas. Jesus,
before Texas Joe, old Joe. Although I mean, he was walking a tightrope even then. In fairness, but there's a good interview when on that. The audiobook's out. I think it's inscribed. Is it the Immortality Key? I know what I have it.
Did I pay for that on Audible?
I think so.
I
did that with a number of ones at one stage. Now that as soon as I see something on Audible, I immediately go to Scribd. Come on,
check
Scribd.
if it's on Scribd. Scribd.
Yeah.
Scribd.
And
shut up. Scribd.
It was definitely there at one point as like the book. I'm not sure if the audio. I'm pretty sure it is actually.
No, it's good. You know what? It's a bit like I know we spoke about it before. Catherine Nixon, I think, or Nixon. I think it was Catherine Nixon.
The Dark Ages one.
She had a book, The Darkening Age. It was Nixon as a surname, isn't it?
Well, you said Nevin in your Discord the other day.
It's Nevin,
is it Nevin? Catherine Nevin? That sounds like something that's to do with Irish.
She sounds like she lives down the road from me in Ireland, man.
Yeah, the Catherine Nevin
No, Catherine Nevin. No, she's the murderer. If you're not Irish, you won't have a clue who that is. Basically, a woman approached. Didn't she? She tried to pay a guard or something, a policeman to kill her husband or something like that.
Yeah. Which is always a good first move in murder. Go straight to the authorities.
Yeah, go straight to the guard and say, here, I know they don't pay you very much, so like if you want an extra few quid. What's it called? The Darkening Age, the Christian Destruction. Nixie. Nixie? That can't be her name. It is her name, yeah, Nixie. That's a funny name. Catherine Nixie. Anyway, so it's a bit like...
You think everyone's name is funny. Every time you look up something, that's a weird name. Tommy? What's that? Tommy?
Well, it's because mine is so stereotypically Irish. I'm just like, everything is weird compared to mine. Like,
Yeah, but Tommy Kelly is like the second closest that you get to Paddy Murphy in fairness.
So look, this one, the Immortality Key, it's a bit like a mix between her, the Darkening Age, and a bit like a Kingsley thing as well. you know, because there's a lot of him
literally.
in the book.
29 minutes, not bad.
Kingsley, we're getting further. Further.
Kingsley on steroids. If Kingsley, if you're telling the truth,
he does this good thing though that I like. A bit like, say, a bit like John Ronson, where obviously. Okay, so Ronson always puts himself into the middle of the role, or puts himself into the middle of the story. So the story, I'm going out to find something, but like it's kind of about me as well. Like, so
it's about his journey to find out this thing. Yeah,
there's definitely bits of that as well. But what I really like about I've lost the page now. Morachevsky,
More or less
two. So more or less two. Jeez, we're such bastards. Always making fun of. I'm such a bastard. Always making fun of people's names. So what I really like is that he goes off to the different places and meets like the experts. Like there's one part where he's like talking to like the head minister of what do you call it? History stuff in Greece and stuff. You know, like
history
just
stuff.
Like fucking
that
aim high. You know what I mean?
Fella of history stuff in Greece.
Head history bottle washer, right? That's what he did. The head dishwasher of history in Greece. But like he aims high and like he finds out that, okay, so there's this beer thing, so I need to investigate that. So he's like, okay, let's go to like the top dog brewer of the oldest brewery in the Weinsteffen brewery in Bavaria, and he goes there and meets this like world expert in beer. And
nice.
But it's just little things like that. He's like like, right, this is a thing that I need to know. Who is an expert on this that I can meet and stuff? You know, and it's great. It's really good.
Does he take the ergot beer and go into a cave and do the incubation, like does he do the Michael Pollan thing of actually?
No, your man at the start. Graham Hancock does the forward for it, which must be fucking long. He must have been talking for about 20 minutes when I was driving.
He actually does it on the
yeah, which is kind of cool, yeah. And what was I saying? No, yeah. Hancock says that like look, more or less two, more or less cool. Doesn't take any drugs or DMT or anything like that. And he says it's a good idea because Hancock's reputation was blemished, tarnished, because he was always seen as sure, just he goes off and takes drugs or whatever. So he says
that's a bit disingenuous. Hancock's reputation was tarnished because he said that there was a face on Mars. Like that was a word story. And there's a BBC program where they really made a fool out of him, in fairness. But
really?
yeah, he did the face of Mars thing, and then he completely retracts it and says he regrets doing all that, whatever. Although some people still, Gordon Mice still thinks it was face of Mars, all that kind of, there's a whole kind of thing in that. But yeah,
that's
there was
the bad pixelated photo, that one.
Yeah, that one.
That's just bad pixels. That's all.
Yeah, they took a photo of it again a couple of months, years, something later, and it's like, it doesn't look like it at all. No.
It's like,
who am I to say there wasn't a whole thing in Mars? That whole kind of nuclear signature thing in the atmosphere is very weird. Like, that is weird.
It's logical. It's totally logical that they sent up some people and just bulldozed it, and then destroyed all the machines and let the astronauts just die. And then they took another photo to prove that there wasn't a face on it, because that is something that the American authorities would do. Like.
Or they could have just photoshopped it. Like, I mean, one or the other. One probably cost a bit less. I don't know, maybe just a wee bit less.
Look, the industrial military complex needs, $100 billion a year. They need to spend the money somewhere. You know what I mean? Because if they don't spend it all, then next year they won't get as much.
It's like the council here in Ireland. It's exactly
like the council, but more death. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Do you know, up until the 1940s, people thought that there was life on Mars. Like, that's how close it was, like mainstream. Then it was like. Yeah, I watched a number of documentaries recently. It was in one of them. I think it was the Philip K. Dick one they were talking about, actually. That's quite a good documentary. That's what we're watching. That one from 2016. It's quite short too. Might have been something else. But that was the level at which we kind of still thought that, we would want to sort out our neighbours, and then we decided that, we got evidence that there wasn't anything there. But now there is. I was about to say, they found milk on Mars recently, didn't they? They found water on Mars, obviously. Now that would be weird. A pint of milk just sitting on a face on Mars.
What's the planet where it rains diamonds? Isn't there one of the moons of Jupiter or something where it rains diamonds? Like, that's like, Jesus, all the jewelers on the planet are just like, fuck that shit,
isn't Jupiter or Saturn one of them? I used to know that the stuff.
Yeah, one Jupiter and Saturn are one of them.
It's a huge, just a diamond with a bit of dirt around it, or a bit of gas around it or something. Yeah. How do we get to here?
I have no fucking idea.
We're talking about Greeks taking beer.
Yeah. But like, what's I mean, I'm only about halfway through or something, but like, it's glaringly obvious. Like, it's so obvious from the research. And that, like, here's the thing with him. Okay, this is a research book, obviously, but he's not. Yeah,
it's first book too, isn't it?
But he's not a researcher in the way that, like, the people he speaks to are researchers. You know what I mean? So he starts off from a place. Look, there was a book written in the 70s where 3 lads said that the people were getting messed up on ergot in the beer and having visions. And no. But that book solidly proved it, like. He says the first 2 chapters. There's 3 writers. The first 2 chapters are the 2 lads who were like, one was a mountaineer, the other was a mushroom
Crowley.
expert.
It was Crowley.
Crowley, yeah. Right. So they have their little chapters, and then the other like 10 chapters are this. He was the younger guy at the time, proving it, just proving from prior research that this is a real thing, you know. But people just didn't want to fucking know. Like, no, the ancient Greeks, why would they ever take drugs? Well, have you any idea what the ancient Greeks used to get up to? I mean, come on.
The ancient Greeks were terrible people. We have this kind of real romanticized people. Did slaves, hated women, all of that stuff. All that stuff that we hate about everything. Yeah, Greeks did it. Yeah, first.
Yeah, I mean, you had a wife. What was it? You had a wife to make babies, but you had a boyfriend for the crack. For fun. For the crack, literally.
To the point that the Spartans had to retrain themselves to have sex with women after coming back from war. I'm not like,
what kind of a boot camp is that like?
A sexy one. A very sexy one. Fun for the boys. Everyone's joining the out. Well, I mean, you know, going to get conscripted, you may have to have a bit of bum sex. Come on.
You may as well, because you're going to be a long time bored, you know?
But yeah, but the Greeks, they had the slaves. They were all right with the slaves. They had, they're like, if we have this kind of notion of with 2 things we do, which is terribly bad. We both infantilize ancient people and romanticize them, in that we think they're so, you know, they couldn't possibly have built these pyramids or whatever it is in Egypt because they were dark skinned and, you know, but like, there was a thing I was watching recently. There was some pyramids in America that they've said, there's no way that these, or in Africa, that couldn't be built 1400s, yet we were building bigger chapels in England. Why don't we believe that the dark people can't build these things? What is that? But the white people can. Is there something else? Good, is there something else you're talking about here, maybe? You know, but we tend to say that in the past they were a bit stupid and we're much more clever now. But we also romanticize them in the way that we do. Like, the Egyptians were probably terrible people. You know, I'm sure they were. Like, but we have this kind of they were magic and they were in touch with the gods and all that. Yeah, definitely had slaves. You know, they were all right with that. Yeah. All right with owning other people, totally fine. In fairness, so were the Christians. But that was just the way it was done. So
that's not an excuse, you know. Get the book, have a listen. It's I'd like to try some of this ergot beer wine.
And I want to point out, just come back to the thing, I really like Graham Hancock. I think he's totally worth listening to.
Yeah, I think he's.
Don't read his Mars book though, because I read it back in the day.
I think he probably just like, he got involved with those ancient alien people, and he was on the first 2 or 3 seasons of that, and then like he obviously stepped away and just went, what shit. Yeah,
but in a lot of
why did I get involved in this? Like,
money. That's why. That's why he got involved.
Yeah, but he walked away from it though, and just went, I can't be dealing with you. You are all fucking doolally, like.
Did he go back on the grass the full time? Remember, he was off for ages and Joe Rogan made him go back on it live now. Did he go back? Did you hear it? Is he back taking the
I don't know
the herb?
I don't know.
Yeah. Joe Rogan. He's what's it say? He's the Gwyneth Paltrow of white males. That's the
yeah. Anyway, good book. The Immortality Key. Check it out, because it's
I've been
it's fascinating. It's really
listening
fascinating.
To Christopher Wallis, Notorious B.I.G. No, he has a He has that's the funny fair juice to Max. That was very funny. He has another name, like I suppose spiritual name, Harry Maher. I can't remember. I don't know it. I find it very like you can't pronounce other people's names. I find it very funny. I find spiritual names a bit kitsch or something. I don't.
Harabam babadabadabadabub.
That's it. That's exactly it. Well done. Yeah, it's the geometry of that equals pelican. So I'm reading his or listening to his second book, which is the what was it bloody called now? I'm not going to be able to remember.
Sutras, that one? The one I have as well.
The Recognition Sutras. That's it. Well done. It's really, really good. I did read his first one, which is why is my Audible being weird? It has every book shown other than his one. There we go. The Recognition Sutras. His first one, which is Tantra Illuminated. Yeah, but it's a long time ago, and so there's only I'm definitely going to have to go back because he does reference it in certain places, but not enough that you'd be.
I took a break from the Sutras one because it's I think it's 17 hours or something, but it's there's a lot to take in it. There's really a lot to take in it.
It's a kind of it's what I like about it. It's a slightly sexier, non-dual kind of approach in that it's there. At the end of it, there's a creative force behind it, and there's the Shakti and the Shiva stuff and blah blah blah, rather than just awareness. Because that kind of feels pointless to me, even though it seems right at the same time. But it's kind of it seems and there's more kind of an understanding that this is an emanation of the divine rather than a mistake. This is a good thing. This is we're layering, we're creating, we're gonna all that kind of stuff rather than something to be shunned and turned away from. Actually, Noggin is very good. Blog post I'll put in the show description. He put up last night about the world is illusion and stuff like that for his new blog. What's it called? The Lamp in the Underworld, which you should all check out. But I'm enjoying it. I signed up to his website. He's a ton of stuff on YouTube, but he has a couple of courses. I did his first one, which is free. And when you get his free course, he gives you a month free of his level 1 website. Of also there's like 5 or 6 courses you can do. And
so everything then is right click download.
Shh. Don't use Vimeo.
Use a VPN. Use a VPN to be grand.
Yeah, you can. So he has then his third tier, £65 a month, which I mean, okay, fine, yeah, but you have to pay for 3 months, and I've got that's a bit. I suppose, but the actual here's the thing, it works out because there's I don't know exact number. So this is more in talking about courses in general rather than the Notorious Christopher Wallis of Tantra.
Notorious. Brilliant.
So he sells the individual courses at about $180, something like that. Or you can buy 3 months, which is $195, whatever. What's 65 multiplied by 3? 195. And you get all the courses. So, I mean, I think that's kind of, so it works out. And it's probably to encourage you to be a member rather than. So, less than £200 for a 16-hour course or whatever it is. Or, I mean, what's the Magia retreat? £1,000. What's the Jason Miller stuff? £600-700. No, I mean, it's on the lower end of the thing. So, I probably will do it. I'll see how the finances are closer to Christmas. Santi's not cheap.
His YouTube stuff is good. He's
amazing sideburns in his Amazon auto profile. If you look at these great sideburns,
big old ones, huh?
Yeah,
nice. No, I took a break from that because when I was driving down, the first one was 5 hours, so I got a good bit of it done. And then I said, no, I'd try this coming home because it's a lot to think about, a lot to take in. And when you're driving, you're only half. Well, you're not listening fully.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm the same with all audiobooks. It's kind of if there's anything good in audiobook, then I go right. That needs to be bought as a book and looked at. So kind of I'm going through it. I'm getting the flavour of it rather than getting the details of it. That's the only way I can work with audiobooks. You can get unless it's a story, and then it's fine. You get through it. But when it's something that dense,
that's why I think that's why that immortality thing is great because you don't need to pick up all of it, you know what I mean? You can be rear-ended by some dickhead from Warsaw. Always a Warsaw car. Always a Warsaw. But it's the same in Ireland. It's always a Dublin driver. It's always.
There's more Dublin cars, I suppose, so on the street. On the street. Why is
Shut
Dublin cars driving on the street?
Look at you with your logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. Parmenides would be giving you a lecture now about you're using logic wrongly.
Yeah.
But
There's
That's
3
illogical.
paths. Which path are you on? Because one of them actually doesn't exist. Then why are you talking about it? Oh, could you think it does? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. There's 3 paths, but one doesn't exist. Yeah, okay, why have you just spent 20 pages telling me about it? Because I'm a trickster. I'm a trickster. You're not a fucking trickster. Loki's a fucking trickster. You're Peter Kingsley. You're not
it's like, oh, I'm so weird. Oh, I'm quirky. I'm not like the other girls. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh God.
Speaking of not like the other girls, you have a shocking conspiracy theory that you need to share with the world. If you don't die of a heart attack there, of laughing fit.
Jesus, I'm not like the other girls. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. Stephen Skinner, Dr. Stephen Skinner's name has popped up. Not a medical doctor. Doctor,
just so you
doctor,
know.
Doctor, not a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, you're on an airplane and someone's dying of a heart attack. Any doctor's here and say, oh, well, I mean, I have to get the circle and the triangle of manifestation and let's call up some healing demons. Every other playing up, no, get there. I got the giggles now. Fucking everyone's going to make me laugh. Yeah, doctor, not a medical doctor, Stephen Skinner.
Is Dr. Spock a medical doctor? Hold on. We have to go. Doctor, not a real Dr. Spock. Oh, everything's changed. Everything's a lie.
It must be really weird to be a doctor when there's like that, so many different species of humans. Because, like, you know, someone has the lungs there. What if someone has an extra lung and you don't know about it? Imagine you open up you open up a fucking Dothraki. No, Dothraki is Game of Thrones. What's the warp? You know, the guy with the mad head.
Oh, Ferengis.
Next Generation. What's his name?
The Kardashians or the Ferengi.
The Kardashians.
The Kardashians. Yeah.
Doctor, not a medical doctor, Stephen Skinner, has come up a lot on the podcast of late. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was until a while ago. So thanks, Tommie, for introducing him. Very interesting fella. Very fucking interesting. Knows his shit, and obviously has. Now, tell me this about his job, because I know he updates books, footnotes the shit out of them, and puts them back for sale. Now, is he's a publisher? He owns the
some of them, like his new book is Watkins, though. So I mean, but he does self-publish, and he is a publisher, but it's not all his books. But his books have been published by other people too.
Right.
So he's a real author too.
So this name came up last week. Yeah.
Damon Brand.
Backwards or normally? Damon Brand, right?
Yeah.
So Damon Brand. I know a lot of people on your Discord will know these names. That's the Gallery of Magic people. I didn't really know fuck all about the Gallery of Magic until a while ago. We were talking about the angel stuff, the Enochian stuff, and you recommended one of their books. Yeah. Which I got, and I also got this one. This is the newest one. Foolish Fish.
You like the angel book, did you? You like the angel book?
Yeah. It's perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. Exactly. Yeah. And Foolish Fish has a good video on this from fairly recently, right? But there's something interesting.
Foolish Fish will recommend that you never buy the hard copies, though. So Spud and bought the hard copies.
Yeah, because it's just
they're about as cheap, though, aren't they? Like, I mean, they're not expensive.
Probably
they're
are
about a tenner or something. Yeah. So.
But you know, I like to write in the books and draw boobies and stuff.
Pull out paper. Bring it to the toilet, just rip them up, and handy.
Pages I don't like. That's a shite sigil. I'm going to shite on it. Literally.
Yeah. This book's terrible. I'm going to.
God, can we dig any deeper? Can we get worse?
That's what happens when we take a week off. It just becomes ridiculous the following week.
Too many things to
all of this stuff just to get out. Yeah. Poo on books. That's what we call this episode. Why Spud poos on books.
So last week. Or a couple of days ago, which would have been also last week. Days moved.
That's how it works.
Days changed. That's how it works. We must be on week 40 odd something by now. There's only 50. Anyway, so you shared the book launch video of him in who did you say the publishers are?
Watkins Books.
Watkins. So he's in Watkins' shop, and he's talking about this Crowley's what's it called? 4 books of magic, wasn't it?
Crowley's. Yeah.
And fairly, you were saying like he stands up to the thing and explains why he calls him Crowley and not Crowley.
Yeah, because he says, I know him as Crowley my life, and I try my best to say Crowley. I know it's Crowley, I just can't do it. Fine, okay, grand. What can I say? That's fair.
He owned it. That's all right. Yeah. So he it's not an interview. This chap gets whatever. I'm sure Tommie will share it in the links or whatever. But skip the first 5 minutes because it's really cringy, and it's the guy who owns the shop, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And then the same guy starts giving out to him by the end, going, oh, come on, we have to get to the questions. Come on. It's like I'm in the middle of talking about something.
Why did you take 10 minutes to fucking introduce me where all you had to say was, everyone,
doctor,
can you please welcome...
Doctor, Skinner.
Yeah, everyone, can you please welcome on stage Doctor, not a medical doctor, Stephen Skinner, to talk about Alistair Crowley's book, the 4 books of bleh. All right, that's all you had to do.
The 4 books of magic.
You had to turn it into a fucking song and dance all about me and I'm important.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
I actually did skip it, so I have no idea what he said.
I did. A couple of minutes, I just went, what the hell is this? Get off the stage with a boo.
Boo. Skinner. We should never go to Watkins Books to lectures. 4 minutes out. Boo.
Just do a Crowley and make the books disappear. So like, fucking hell. He so Skinner, it's not an interview. Skinner gets up and just talks about his kind of relationship with Crowley, how he knows him, what he knows about him, what he likes about him, what he doesn't like about him, yada yada yada. Right?
He gets through to what he likes about him fairly quick.
Fairly quickly. There's some interesting things in this. This is Magical Destiny. This is the newest song from the Gallery of Magic. Now,
people were wondering why are we going between Damon Brand and Doctor Not a Medical Doctor Skinner? Yeah. What is this?
So, in the first, say, 20, 30 pages of this, there are a lot of things said. A lot, like, and I only have 2 of them here that I underlined. But if you pick up the book, if you watch that interview and then read this book, the first, say, 20, or first, say, 30 pages of it, you'd be like, huh, that's strange. Mm-hmm. Why is it written exactly in the same way as that man speaks on that video? It's bizarre. It's fucking bizarre. And
word for word.
There's word for fucking word in some place. And then in the other book as well, he makes a bigger kind of deal about the industry he works in. He's a writer, a publisher.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Well, man, you're giving away all these clues here. And just like, growing up in England, doing magic for 40, 50 odd years or whatever, and working with lots of people and stuff like that, and it's all kind of adding together. But the first one that got me, right, I was telling you this earlier, the first one that kind of made my ears kind of pick up, he says...
was where he says, I am Stephen Skinner.
He's in... when he's in the bookshop, he's talking about Crowley's kind of pre-magic stuff and how he had been a mountaineer and he was in the Himalayas and he had set like lots of records on like K2 and he was genuinely a really good one. And he says that, but Crowley was quite modest about his mountaineering and his records. He said, for a change, he was surprisingly modest. And he said, word for word, that comes up in the book. But he says he's actually talking about the what was the name of the bloody thing? His book for the Liber Samek, yeah?
Liber Samek, yeah. So the bonus headless ritual, yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying that, like, so Crowley didn't believe that his method was the best for the only way of attaining the angel. For a change, he was surprisingly modest. Now, look, okay, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only 7 words. Mm. But
it's enough for a conspiracy. Earlier, it's enough.
Yeah, no, but like as you were saying earlier, like, it's
a unique. It's a unique. Type
it's
of
unique
phrase,
because it's, to say that about Crowley, it's quite unique. Then he says something else earlier.
Yeah, modest and Crowley. No, but not even that he called him modest, but it's the exact same sentence. It's expressing the sentiments in exactly the same words. Yeah.
He says he tells a story in the interview about how when he was a young fella learning about Crowley's Goetia, he wanted to get this, It's actually it's quite good. He goes into he gets the book ordered. He comes back to pick up the book, and the woman in the bookshop is like, you? She's like, and then she has to go back to the manager, and she's like, I can't sell him this book. He's like 12. What the fuck? But so he says here,
he's an innocent little boy.
He starts talking a little bit about Crota's Goetia, says it's a bit like chaos magic. And the Bornis ritual. And he says, so the Bornis ritual, which is so central to Liber Samek, was a modified exorcism based on workings from the Greek magical papyri, which is again something that's almost word for word said during the thing. Now there's a few other things as well, but I didn't have time to underline them in that and in the other angel one as well, where it's it's spooky.
Yeah, well, I'm totally convinced. I'm 100% on board. Even if it's not true, this is not true. So I'm happy. I'm happy enough with you arguing your dissertation, and you are now a doctor, not a medical doctor, Dr. Spud. Congratulations, your thesis has been passed.
I presume that they have the. See, I thought Gallery Magic was. I thought they would have had 5 or 6 or 7 different authors who.
Well, they do. They will have 3 or 4 anyway. Like the sort of the Winterfield is another one. There's at least.
No, but I mean all publishing under the Damon Brand name.
Oh, right. Well, no. Well, why I would say no is because there's the Gallery Magic and have a number of different. People. So I think that would kind of.
But there must be what 10, 15 books by Brand now in the series.
Yeah, but sure, Stephen Skinner 60 books or 70 books published.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So it's
look, it would take
him.
Look, I mean, it would take him a couple of days to bang out something like this. You know what I mean? It's under 150 pages long. He'd do that in a week. No worries. With his experience.
Yeah, I suppose the counter to it is, other than it's absolutely true, and I'm completely convinced, but the counter to it would be that he is so. Well, I suppose this could be the release out of it, because he's so, as Stephen Skinner and not Damon Brand, he's very traditionalist, whereas Damon Brand's not really a traditionalist. That could be his avenue out of that, where he can.
Well, I think that's why the name change.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. I mean, it's okay.
Are you convinced? I don't know. But like I was saying to you earlier, I was like, no, because So I came to Tommie earlier, and I was like, look, I think I know who this fella is. And we were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know, should we even do this on the podcast to Rumpelstiltskin someone? I was like,
yeah,
it's done now.
Yeah, it's done. There it is.
Sorry, doctor.
Yeah, you know, not a medical doctor.
He's not going to. Yeah. It's not like he's ever going to need to help me while I'm having a hard time.
Well, I mean, like, there is like there's precedence for this anyway in cult literature.
Of course,
with Peter Levenda not being Simon, who wrote the Necronomicon, but at least wrote most of it or a lot of it. There's a couple of other people have claimed it as well. But most people are pretty convinced it was Peter Levenda.
Right. So,
like, and he just always says, no, it's not. So, I mean, if whoever Damon Brand is, if it turns out it's probably Peter Levenda, you can just say, no, it isn't. I mean, so it's just speculation. It's,
exactly.
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. I think, it is for entertainment purposes.
It's not like the publisher saying that it was, what's usually one who wrote Harry Potter? What's her name? That lovely one on Twitter.
Oh, the horrible woman.
Anyway, she wrote books under another name, and just before the detective ones, whatever they are, and just before the publisher released them, the release that it was her, so because he didn't think they were going to sell, so he made a good move for him. Like, but so it's not as if Spud saying Stephen Skinner or Damon Brand's going to in any way affect anyone's sales.
No one is going, other than maybe he's going to put a hex on me. So, but he can't now because I just called him out on it.
Of all people, I would worry about Stephen Skinner. He
I would not.
Demons to material form, no problem to him. Yeah. If you start having crows coming down your chimney, I'd be worried. Yeah.
Don't have a chimney.
If you suddenly have a chimney.
No, of course I have a chimney. Don't be stupid. Yeah, but like, I mean, I like him. That's why that's why it stuck out to me. Just the way he talks and the way stuff is written is it's bizarrely similar. So but I like him. This isn't a
gotcha
expose of like gotcha or anything like that. No, I like Stephen Skinner. I think he's great, and these magic these gallery magic books are. To be honest, I didn't think I'd like them because I thought it would be like all shortcut. I thought this was going to be, but it turns out it's not. Like, it's just whoever wrote them like really knows their stuff and is like, all right, look, okay, you can do it that way, but you know, after 40 years of doing this, here's a way.
Yeah, here's the easy. Well, it's proper chaos magic, isn't it? Like, it's like looking at all the stuff, go, what's needed here, but what's, you know. Yeah. But it's not making up stuff either. It's like going, looking at the stuff that people have been doing. Why does that work? Here's why it works.
Yeah. I mean, I presume it has a bit of I don't know. Look, I mean, even the name gallery magic just sounds ludicrous. But it's like when you go onto their Amazon page or whatever, you see like a lot of the stuff is like money magic and blah 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 blah, and it's just like that for me that's off-putting. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you know, cause like, just get a job. You know. Yeah,
well, there is like, there is a job seeking gallery magic book. So I mean, they've one for everyone. So the Servitors book's really good. I really enjoyed it. And there's a couple of books I've read that they're very similar to gallery magic that I think probably aren't gallery magic, because that kind of, they have a particular style. You know, the stock photo. They all look the same, and everyone started copying that kind of thing. So there's a couple of ones I've read that are good, still good, but it just has that kind of style. So I kind of in my head are a bit conflated which are the actual gallery magic ones. There's a chaos magic one as well, but it's like they're all good if you're like, it's that thing, the angel stuff. So you want to get into the angel right there, but it's not going to be. You'd never be someone, I'm big into angel magic. I know a book that you'd read. It's not that book. You know, it's the first book. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's a starter.
But not necessarily your first magic book. Your first book on that subject. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That kind of,
yeah. Perfect way of explaining it. Yeah. It's like Britannica.com have these really long what they call articles about something that you might be interested in. So it's a starter, and then to go from there. Like, no, exactly, spot on. It's a good book. I like it. Do you know, I like the Angel one too. Yeah. Fine. Thanks for the recommendation.
No worries. Anytime. Will you get any of the Stephen Skinner books? Will you go down that route?
No, I will eventually. Yeah, because I like him too, and I was listening to other interviews with him and stuff as well. Yeah, interesting chap, you know.
He does a lot of feng shui stuff as well. He's big into that. I haven't read any of his feng shui stuff, or my one joke I ever made up, and I'm so proud of it, was I would buy a book on feng shui, but I wouldn't know where to put it.
Hey. Our house was supposed to be done. The people who lived here before us totally renovated it, and he was a doctor, not a medical doctor as well. Soul doctor. I think that's somebody called. I think he told Aggie he was a soul doctor, or something like that.
Not a Pixar TV or film, Soul Doctor.
But apparently the house was done in a feng shui way, and that's why, like, downstairs is mostly kind of open, and I don't understand it, to be honest. But like, I don't know. Aggie thinks there's a ghost here. She keeps getting someone touching her on the shoulder and stuff like that. I'm like, why would they touch your bum? You know what I mean?
I know, I've got to do anything.
Grab your arse, like.
Yeah.
That's me though, dirty Spud Murphy, the horrible ghost who grabs fucking young ones by the arse. There's the ghost now is knocking over me phone. God damn it! Yeah. There was something I was going to say to you. Well, come here. I'll tell you a bit more on the angel thing. So
yes. You said you had a paranormal incident. Yeah.
So they tell you that each of the rituals in it must be 11 days. All right.
Yeah. You're giving me seasickness here. Come on, will you get it together, will you?
Trying. I know that's too. No, that won't work.
Yeah.
Maybe
professional. Why aren't you more popular than you are? Well, because we're useless at podcasts.
That's why our souls and we're useless. Duh. So, it starts off, and you're to do this first kind of ritual ceremony, and this is the first one that you do, and then on the other 11 days, then you do more specific to the angel that you're actually trying to talk to or whatever. So I thought, all right, grand, half 10 at night on a Sunday night, I'm in the bed reading the book, and I'll give this a go. So RCL, da-da-da-da, and just nothing happened. So I'm all right, grand, so I kept reading, and I got tired, and turn off the lights. And next thing, the fucking room lit up, man, with fucking blue fucking... It was like, I was genuinely scared. I swear to God. I was shitting myself, man. I was so fucking scared. Like, what the fuck have I done? What have I fucking
what door
done?
have I opened?
They all told me don't get involved with angels. You all fucking said it. And now fucking there's blue fucking lightning going around the fucking ceiling of the... Oh, God. I was so fucking scared. I was so fucking scared, man. And then finally, when I stopped panicking, I just went, no, it's like a trip. It's like a calm down. Breathe. It's all right. It's grand. It's okay. But like they kept kind of... And it wasn't like one. It wasn't like a...
Was it like a will-o'-the-wisp type thing, or what was it? Describe it rather than just blue. Use your words.
I don't know what a will-o'-the-wisp is. Maybe that's what it was. How do I spell that? Will of the wisp.
How it sounds.
I have no idea what that is. Ah, okay. Oh yeah. Oh man. Huh. That's mad. Except, okay, so like a bit like that, except more in lines, because these kind of look globular as a form, yeah.
Right.
So it wasn't like that. It was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of it, and they would move. See, I'm trying to do it onto the ceiling, but it would move kind of when it would shoot across the ceiling a bit like that, you know. And I went, fuck me, what have I done now? Who have I called down? Fucking Egypt, Spud. You had to go and do it, didn't you?
Like literally everyone said not do this and you will be terrified.
Don't do it, Spud.
And then you did it
fucking
and you were terrified.
And then you got scared because something happened. What the fuck do you expect? Fucking Egypt, you know?
Yeah. It's funny, like they meant the magic in it and it's always strange when it works.
So that happened, and it was... I don't know, it must have went on for a good 10 or 15 minutes or so. Just this...
That thing.
Bit like a hallucination was happening, but like it looked... Obviously it looked real. Hallucination does look real.
Well, like if you had looked to your side, would you have seen the reflection of the light in the wall kind of thing? Or did you have to be looking at it?
No. Everything was dark. Everything was dark around it, and it was kind of like the light was going through the dark.
Right.
But it
wasn't lighting up the ceiling or anything.
No. There was no kind of light coming off it that, like, I couldn't see what was on the desk beside me or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's pitch dark down there. It's the middle of the countryside, so there's not even street lights or anything. Oh no, there are street lights, but they turn them off at fucking 9 o'clock or something. But, like,
what's the point of them then?
No, yeah, what's the point? Yeah. Look, Poland's a very funny country. And street lights would turn them off at night because
only lunchtime. We only put them on for lunchtime. There was no actual. That's funny. I hadn't thought of that. There was no actual light coming off them, but they were a blue. And even like what's coming up here on Google Images, it was a similar enough color to that type of blue. That's funny now, but strange experience. And like I am the angel of hellfire.
No, nothing like that. No. No, because apparently the way it's worded in the book is that, right? So you go to Arziel, you go to him first, Arziel, and Arziel opens the door for, I'm going to say Raphael, I don't remember. And he opens the door, and then through him, then the rest of them are all open to communication. I think that's kind of how it's put, you know. So,
but it's using particular seals and sigils and stuff. Like there's an actual...
Yeah, there are stuff like that as well.
So there's an actual method to it, not just lying in your bed and go, right, come on, you fuckers, here I am.
There's a funny thing about that Arziel name, though. He apparently comes up in... or that name apparently comes up as a demon name for... but the same, as an intermediary before going to other demons. Apparently in some Solomonic.
It's similar to the name from that PlayStation game. What was that called? Where you were the vampire that had your wings were Arziel or something like that was his name.
All right.
I assume it's a form of Raziel. Like, I mean, it's the two letters just changed. So like, because an awful lot of those angels are, as far as I remember from the Shem Hemfarash, are like very similar. It's just reconfigurations of different things. I could be completely wrong. So it's why couple of years since I read that book too, or had any kind of because I just have that like angels, like it's like I don't know, like they don't seem to apart from like you won Angels in My Hair and Irish people who can talk to angels, a lot of them they seem quite fluffy and new age and wouldn't do anything. But anyone who engages with angels properly, no real reports of anyone having a good time, so I just kind of stay away from. I have more reports of people having a good time with goetic demons than I do with particularly the Enochian stuff. But of course, like I'm not talking about scrying the eaters because that's not exactly the same thing. Yeah, even though it's lumped into the Enochian stuff, but so maybe it's something I should add to the. I'll get around to that at some point, just because like why not but I would want to have a reason. I know you have a reason. You have a particular reason why you're doing it, and there's particular answers that you're looking for, and so that that seems a perfectly reasonable thing to ask the big boys about. But I need a reason rather than just going, hello,
hello, 50 million quid, please. Hello.
I have this screenshot of a card that you can own. Not the screenshot. You can tell people you own the screenshot, but everyone can have the screenshot.
I have a link.
Yeah. You have a code. You get a code. 50 million.
Imagine trying to explain that. Yeah. Hello, Razziel. I need forget it.
Do you remember when John Dee and Mr. Kelly, not a medical doctor, maybe Dr. Dee was a medical doctor. Actually, probably was. So maybe. Actual medical doctor, Dr. Dee.
Yeah, medical doctor, Dr. Dee.
When the last angel go, listen, we're broke. Any chance of some money? The angel were just like, well, you just go away. That's not what we're about. Stop asking us for money. You work that out for yourself. It's like, why are we doing this for? I'm sitting here and I can't even feed my kids. Although the level, I know he was poor by the end of it, but his level of poor compared to level of poverty at the time, like he only had the one servant when he was poor,
right, yeah. Okay.
Ultimately, he did end up with very little, and all his books were stolen. It's not horrible. That's
that's shite.
Yeah, I think his wife and child
died.
Where did he die?
Did he make it back to England? Did he? Because I know he.
Yeah, no, he dies in kind of.
He was in Poland for a good few years.
Like in obscurity in his house that's fallen. In my recollection of it, that's falling apart. Like he died not getting what he wanted, or not. He kind of lost favour when the Queen, and then it was the King, and the King didn't want that to do it. It was the whole.
All right.
But there's a.
I know he was here for a while. He was in Poland for a couple of years. He was trying to. Wasn't he trying to do something with King?
He was trying to be his what do you call it?
One of the Holy Roman Empire kings, Rudolph, I think was his name. I think he was trying to get him to invade somewhere or something like that. I think he was in Poland for 2 years, I think, in Krakow, which wouldn't be too bad to get stuck in Poland for 2. But then again, like, because imagine, what's that, 400, 500, 600 years ago? Like, not speaking a word of Polish is hard now. Oh,
I know, but wouldn't the onus have been on
back then, like?
On the Polish to speak English, being being that they were the empire and all that kind of stuff, that it wouldn't have been on him to have to learn Polish.
No, but then I suppose a lot of stuff would have been done in Latin then anyway, though, wouldn't it? Courtly stuff and all that.
Yeah, so you probably had the common language of Latin that
Latin. Yeah.
Everyone learned that rather than the different languages. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, it's got, in fairness to Latin now, it does sound much more kick-ass with spells and stuff like that. Dominus, Latinus.
I know, yeah. It's funny, doesn't it? Like the devil goes, I've been around for millions of years, and why is everyone speaking in Latin to me? I don't know Latin. That's a new language. I'm fucking learn it. God's sake. Aramaic, anyone? Yeah. Some sort of Babylonian, anything.
That's a good one. Oh, someone sent me some Babylonian yesterday. Did you see this in the Irish Times?
No.
Where is this? How to speak Babylonian, an Irish guide. What's the crack? Or how's the crack? Everyone knows how's the crack.
Yeah.
To a man, to a woman, to a man. Temka Lusme.
Okay.
This is in the Irish Times yesterday. How to speak Babylonian. Soft day, thank God. Anyone else?
How do you explain that? When I time travel back to ancient Babylonia, I would just fit in perfectly. Soft day. It's scorching hot, man. Or We're in the Middle East. Come on.
We're in a fucking desert. It's not a soft day. Who's this lunatic? Why is he so white? What the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yeah, what's the crack? Why does he keep talking about cocaine? What is this? What is cocaine?
Adad basima ul irachnis. I fucked up the last one. Adad basima ul arahis. Ul irahis. Sorry, I'm not doing. Will these COVID-19 restrictions ever end? Oh, fucking hell. Kill it morus agisi katum ma ikati. Where's COVID in there? And my personal favourite, so grand now stretch in the evenings.
That's for people outside of Ireland, that means it's getting brighter later in the evening. Staying bright towards later in the evening. It's not getting dark early.
Just the day's getting longer. No, it's still 24 hours there, Bob.
24 hours. Yeah.
Jeez, the grand now stretch in the evenings are all the same. Oh yeah, that in my local in Wexford, there's a you probably have McCardle's up there, do you? McCardle's is like
well, the brewery's here. The brewery's in Dundalk.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's where it's from. 2 pint bottles of McCardle's there, please, off the shelf. So if they don't want cold one, it has to come off the shelf, so it's fucking room temperature.
Yeah, my granddad was the same about stout. Always room temperature stout.
Room temperature.
Yeah, but I suppose if that's what you drank, that's what seemingly you can drink it much quicker if it's room temperature than if it's cold. You can lamp it into you. As they say.
So Irish, isn't it? Like you have to drink as quickly as possible. It's not about enjoying the drink, having a good time. No. It's about
drink as much. But if you get drunk, no, don't be getting drunk with all that.
Yeah,
alcohol.
Don't get drunk. What are you doing? Like, that means you're drinking like too slow. You have to drink faster. You're like basically Irish people are like those frog raw fucking geese. When it comes to drinking,
culture.
Tub. Arak umi tub. Libi yama. That one's an easy one actually. Arak umi tub. Arak umi tub. Libi yama. Libi yama.
I have to say your accent is perfect. It's flawless.
Thank you. I've been I've spent a long time on beaches, as you can see from this chiseled physique and bronzed skin that I always have. Fucking hate beaches, man. I grew up beside the seaside, so I hate beaches now. Aggie talks about going on holidays to the seaside. I'm like, nope.
Is
Spent the first 18 years of my life on the seaside.
Was your beach actual sand, or was it like the ones we have here, which are just rocks?
No, sand. It's Wexford beaches. There's loads of them. I think there's about 4 or 5 of them, all within about 20 minutes of me at home. And yet, no interest in sand at all. I just don't care. The only thing sand is for now.
More beaches are more. Women are more into it. I know that's very stereotypical, but I think it's still true. Whether it's like, I don't know. I've never really spoken to a man who goes, "Oh, I love beaches." I don't think it's something I've ever heard a man say. I've heard a number of women say it though. So I love a good beach.
You love a good beach. Wonder how many times now is it going? Because you've said it now. The Jack's out of Pandora's out of the box there or whatever. Yeah, you'll probably hear that now once or twice in the next week, I bet.
Oh, I love a good beach.
God, I love a beach. I love going to the beach.
I like a good forest. I like a good forest.
Beaches suck, man. They're fucking boring.
I'm okay walking them on once a year, maybe. Isn't this lovely? Whatever. But like, I'm not sitting there for 10 hours in Spain or something. What's that about? I don't understand that. Go look
even
at
like when we had the honeymoon
look at a church or something.
Like, they all have these like restaurants on the beach and stuff, and it's like, but it's not like there's no tables. Like you're on one of those deck chairs, so they come with your food, and it's like there's no
what
table.
do we do with this? Yeah,
and there's sand everywhere, and it's like Jesus Christ.
I love a good beach.
First world problems, huh? Me and my honeymoon to fucking Mexico, which I'd love to go to again, but I won't ever go there again. I'm not leaving this continent again, I don't think. There's going to be a war soon anyway up on the border.
I've seen the satellite photos that are not scary at all.
That's quite worrying, to be honest.
That is,
the Russian, and the fucking the Russians are mad. They're like, Europe is like, look, we can see that you're moving lots of tanks there up to the border, and Russia's like,
no.
No, but we can see. No, you can't.
No, they're not. They're not tanks. They're trees.
I mean, how do you win an argument with someone like that? No. No.
It's 3-year-olds.
No, you're wrong.
You don't win an argument.
But anyway, so apparently Putin doesn't like this Lukashenko guy much more anyway, but he's a horrible fucker. What he's doing is he apparently has been a load of like tour agencies have opened suddenly in Belarus with the promise of like getting people from Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. Into Europe. And what they're doing is, now look, my heart bleeds for them. I feel sorry for these people. They're leaving war-torn countries. All they want is a life where their life isn't under constant threat all the time. I welcome more people to Europe. Absolutely. I'm saying that from the fucking start. I welcome refugees. And I'll fight for them to the end, you know.
But not in an actual fight, in a figurative fight.
No, not a proper fight. No, I'll do anything for you, and I'll support you and all that.
As long as I don't have to leave my own house.
Man, whatever, man. I'd open the door. It doesn't matter. Like, if people were stuck, come on, stay with me. I don't fucking care. In Dublin, you never knew who was staying in my house sometimes, because it'd just be, I'd let in any stray cat. Yeah, look, I need... Spud, I need... Yes, move in. You're more than welcome. Go on, the more the merrier, because it means we'll have another person and more parties. But anyway, so what he's doing is this fucker has... there's something like 15 flights a day, like, coming in from Baghdad and stuff like that, like. And what he's doing is he's saying, right, yeah, you stay there for a day or two, get your bearings, and then we'll bus you to the Polish border, and the Polish authorities won't do anything because they're wimps, they're pussies, and then you can just make your way to Germany, France, wherever. And Poland is like at the border going, no, we can't do that. We can't let this many people in, because they're like, there's some statistic came out. It's like it costs like 5,000 zlotys a day or something for every person that or for every refugee that they have to take care of or whatever. But like Poland's big thing is like, look, hold on now, there was a war in between Russia and Ukraine not that long ago. We took in fucking 500,000 people, like.
Right,
we don't have room. We're fucking full. You know, what the hell are we supposed to do? And plus as well, there's this mad thing where that they're using Belarus and Poland as the refugees coming. None of them want to stay in Poland. None of them. Like there's videos of them at the border with Belarus, and they're shouting Germany, 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 Germany. They don't want to stay in Belarus. They don't want to stay in Poland. They want to get to Germany. Fair enough, go to Germany. But it's like Poland is like, yeah, we don't know what to do. Like they don't know what to fucking do. Like it's bizarre. But like when it started happening at first, I was watching the news with the father-in-law and like. Obviously they're going to hype it up. It's a propaganda news station, but they're like, this is an act of war. Like what they had been doing. The Belarusian soldiers were cutting holes in the gates, coming into Polish territory, armed to the fucking teeth, escorting refugees onto Polish territory. And Poland's like, dude, that's what the fuck are you doing?
You know what you need to do? You need to build a big wall and get the Mexicans to pay for it. That's it.
They are building a wall.
Are they building a wall? Well,
yeah, they are building a wall. And I was like, look,
historically, walls don't work. You know, so
there is an easy solution. Though, like, I don't know why anyone hasn't thought of it. Build a bus station. Just build a bus station. There you are.
Yeah, an underground goes from that part of the border straight to Germany. That's done. Underground.
Exactly, straight to Germany.
Yeah.
You know, you're not our problem.
Yeah.
You want to go to Germany.
Release them into the cave system. Release them to the caves.
Off we go to Germany. I mean, look, I'd be delighted if there was more.
You're also having
living here.
Riots over the abortion stuff too. I see there's some sort of
there's the abortion. It's exactly like what happened in Ireland with the Servitors woman, wasn't it?
She died. Yeah,
a woman died. Her and the baby died, wasn't it, in Poland?
Well, yeah, the baby
septic shock.
Yeah, the baby wasn't viable. Is that right? I might be, and was either going to die.
Yeah, so this is what happened under the old law, because the baby was, for want of a better word, fucked. It would have been aborted, but because of Poland's weird new fucking, Jesus, bollocks, it has to be brought to term, which is just disgusting. And then the mother got septic and she died. And so it's exactly the same as I think as what happened in Germany with that Servitor woman. And yeah, so people are going mad about that, and there's a lot of protests and stuff going on. But I don't know. Abortion's just a tricky one, because like any time it comes up, I'm just like, no, look, only women should vote on that. Fuck men.
Yeah.
You know, men are fuck them. Just fuck men. Fuck them. They're idiots. You know. Let women decide that, because
I'm always even in stuff I don't agree with. Like, and I don't know where I fall in abortion. Because no matter what case, always someone will pull out something that you go, well, I don't know how I feel about that. So, but I think everyone should be given individual choice to that. It's not my decision to make for you at all. And I know the answer to that is who's making the decision for the baby. And I go, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know when it's a baby, and I don't know when it's cells, and I'm glad I don't have to make the decision. But I'm going to allow other people to make the decision because of my lack of understanding of and your circumstances.
This all plays into a weird thing with like how Poland's getting on with the European Union at the minute, because it isn't going very, very fucking well with the European Union. So it's like, with the stuff that's going on with the Belarusian border and these protests about abortion, which are it's like, I don't think there's a lot. No, I don't think. I know there's not a lot of sympathy for Poland out there because of how they've been acting with the European Union.
Yeah.
So I would hope that what will come out with this is that they will see the error of their ways and be more fucking European.
Do you think that happens? Does that actually ever happen? That politicians don't double down.
But you know what does happen? Eventually people get sick of the same people being in power, even if it's going well. Even if it's going well, they eventually just get sick and say, "Look, you know what? You've had 3 or 4 terms. Piss off. Let's get in someone else." And that's coming up in the next election, hopefully in Poland. And it's, I don't know. Sure, look, I can't vote anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know?
Well, it matters. It's just you've no say.
Well, it matters, but but you know, whatever. I mean, there's nothing tying me here. I can leave. You know,
you've already decided you're leaving.
No, I haven't. But I mean, no, but like.
Those people on the bus to Germany, they can have the house. Get out of the caves, get into my house. Get out of the caves, get into my house.
Be grand ship. Yeah, there's not going to be a war. Let's sort it out. It'll be okay. And I hope the refugees get. Oh yeah, that's the worst fucking thing about it. It's just these politicians playing with people's lives. Like, it's fucked up. Like, all they want is a better life. That's all they want. All they want is not to live in fear of war. Do you know, like, is that too much to ask for? Is it like really like
well, it's definitely something that white skinned people are allowed to ask for. Not too sure as it gets darker, though. Is that a thing that's allowed? Doesn't seem to be.
Nonsense. I mean, like, look, Poland's a bit like, actually, a lot of countries are like this at the minute. A lot of Catholic countries for some reason. Poland, Ireland, Portugal, Italy. Young people aren't just staying around anymore. They're all going off to the cities, or else they're emigrating. So it's like, do you know what, lads? Actually, you could do with an extra couple of million people, in fairness.
Well, yeah, or just, I think the UK are a bit, low on a couple of workers, maybe to drive some vans for them and stuff. Let's go for that.
You could do with more people. So weren't
they saying though that one of the big things that was going to happen when they put the wall up in California? Now I could be wrong here, but all the fruit farming was just the whole arse was going to fall out of that market because it only survives because of immigrant workers. One, they have the skill, and 2, they'll do the job, and with the pay that's so it's like, I don't know. It's just xenophobia, like, isn't it? Like, or it's like it's
yeah.
It's like, we don't want them coming out. Like, but I mean, the generation above me, my parents' generation, I'm not pointing at my parents, but that generation don't let anyone into the country. It's like, really? Irish people.
We live on an island. How do you think we got here? Yeah. What the fuck?
And what do you think most of us did? We went to other countries.
It blows my mind that, like, no immigrants. Like, you're an immigrant. Yeah. Where do you think you came from? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, have you always lived here? Poland wasn't even a country 100 years ago. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And the American thing as well. No immigrants. Literally everybody is an immigrant.
All of us except the natives. All of us except them.
And I'm sure if you go back far enough, you know.
You probably find some proto-European.
Yeah, proto-European. Yeah, some alien dude just going. Actually, this is my planet. Actually,
that the proto-Indo-European stuff that I'm always on about, that comes up a lot in the Immortality key. Maybe that's why I like it so much. He says that there is a common link.
Yeah.
Bollocks. What he talks about, the people who went east, they have this ambrosia. What they call it? Suma. Suma.
Yeah. The ambrosia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's the tantric people.
So they're saying Suma and ambrosia are both the same thing. So that was the Greek one. This was the Eastern one. But they both come from this proto-European.
I think it's funny. Christopher
as well.
Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallis in Tantra Illuminated, he talks about that as well. Only he follows the East. The guy's going to India and stuff. Yeah. I assume then that what is it? I've made one or two of these things, whatever it is.
One or two.
One or two. He then travels. West. It's like east from where I am.
Yeah,
but it's. Ancient Greece is Italy anyway.
He makes this thing that the reason that it's commonly kind of thought that we became farmers because of we learned how to take care of grain and then animal husbandry and yada yada yada. And
by all accounts, where everything went wrong that moment.
Everything went wrong, yeah. But the thing with it's just this commonly held belief that it's okay. So with grain, it was because bread. We all needed bread. Da 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 da. And his thing is no. It seems to be less people are saying it, but there's more evidence for it that no, it's not. We had beer before bread. People were saying that before a couple of episodes ago, actually.
Göbekli Tepe that defines
Göbekli Tepe, yeah.
Religion and beer. It's the first thing we do, yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, of course, yeah. It seems appropriate.
Well, it does seem appropriate. But the argument that he's making in this is that, well, beer was this sacred thing that you could get off your face and talk to God. So, who needs bread?
And then the Christians got that completely wrong, and they just went with the bread.
Yeah.
No, I'll have the soma. No. Bread. What we do here? No thanks.
Bread and butter. Be grand. Talk to God another day. Don't eat it. Be all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, we leave it there. I've collect the young child from a preschool. Well, I don't actually now that I think, because he's off sick. He's had an off go. I haven't slept in 2 days. Can you see it in my face? Poor wee man. It's the sickest I've ever seen him. He usually when he's sick, he does the whole brave thing. I'm okay. And that's when he's just, no, I'm not okay. But he also, I said, what's wrong, Chad? Nothing. It's like, nothing. You're 3 and grumpy and sick. Go to sleep. It's horrible, actually.
The poor fella. It's horrible when because they don't have the words to express it and stuff, And
he also, I think he has a thing in him that he thinks he's going to get in trouble if he's sick, that he's done something wrong. So he
guilt already, huh?
So he's like going, no, there's nothing wrong with me. You're literally dying. No, I'm not.
No, I'm fine. Fine.
Right. You're away again, yeah. You're so...
I'm travelling next Wednesday, but we might be able to squeeze one in a day or two before that.
Also, Nogan wants to do a TaSTA ritual with us. He has an idea of doing a stay method and can talk to someone. Was he talking about that? He probably was. So we have to organise that as well. So, bye!